I must say first that this is a very humbling experience to be in the TEDx in my home city, first of all. And that has a special joy attached in it. And I'm really proud that IEM TEDx have taken its first step to have many more TEDx in future, and more creative people will be standing on this beautiful small stage. I'm a basically stage performer mostly. That is my hard earned livelihood. But I had been in this journey of many different phases of my journey has been into the theme, actually control, alter, and delete, and where I had to take the leadership of my own choices. So I have a small little introduction about my thoughts about my actual work and which related to this TEDx. I feel very honored to be invited here to speak, as the theme of this TEDx has a huge parallel to my life as a sound scientist. When I was gifted a Hawaiian guitar at a very tender age of 3, I was cocooned in the rich culture of Indian classical music. And thus, I was handed a complete paradox. I was handed a complete paradox. You understand? In 60s, the world, we didn't have access to the world on our fingertips. But I attempted at that age to translate the nuances of Ustad Baregulam Ali Khan Saab's illustrious voice, as well as the timbre and the percussive style of sarod playing by the great, my grand guru, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Saab, on a small slide guitar we called Hawaiian guitar. There was a void in both the Hawaiian guitar and in the hearts of the listeners, as they were presented with music so familiar to them on an entirely unfamiliar acoustic instrument. What I could have interpreted only as prejudice, but I chose to explore as a challenge. That is a turning point. I have been given an opportunity to apply for national scholarship at the age of 7. I was playing a 6-string Hawaiian guitar and Rag Bhairav. I stood first in 1 million contestant, but I didn't get the scholarship because I played Hawaiian guitar. That was the mindset of that time of the people about the audience. But I only had two options: control, alter, delete, or move on. So I could delete guitar, slide guitar, and start with a popular Indian classical instrument already existing in my culture. But I didn't do that. I took my slide guitar, and then what I could interpret it only as prejudice, I chose to explore all the challenges. In my 55 years as an Indian classical musician, innovator, composer, and producer, I have reimagined soundscapes, arrangements, and timbres to bridge cultures and genres. Across the world, I am known as a world music artist. But in India, there were still several milestones I needed to cross to be able to truly create awareness that even a slide guitar can belong in the world of Indian classical music. It is hard, but it needs a lot of alterations, lot of decisions to make on spot, and it comes from your inside stamina, inside someone is speaking inside you and giving you directions. Who is that? That can be defined by anything. As a sound scientist, it was my mission to reimagine and completely alter the image and sound perception of the Hawaiian guitar. And I was blessed to give the world my four instruments: Chhaturangi, Gandharvi, Anandi, and Pushpavina. I will now present them one by one and how it is unique. I just will not play a concert, but I will just give you the small soundscapes of each instrument, and you will see how this magic happened in my life. Thank you. This is called Chaturangi. This is the most updated version of Chaturangi, which has a hollow neck. So the Chaturangi was made first at the age of 15 of my life, and it was 1978. It had a hollow body with a sound hole, round, and a solid neck. And then in 80s, I started designing separately, differently, to add more mids and bass in the body. So instead of the flat top, I started bending it like a semi-arched top. And instead of a round hole, I have adopted two F holes in the both the side to make the sound even stronger and glide even better and play more Indian soundscapes in a slide guitar form. So this is so there are two strings here in the front. So not only the designing instrument or create innovating an instrument from scratch, but I had to apply these three fingers to make the fastest movement possible on a slide guitar, like or create a sound which comes deep from your soul. For an alternate to the music, how you can use this instrument as a background of a movie to make the sound like, in the middle of the night, you hear in a haunted house the main door is making a creaky sound, or a ghosty atmosphere, the sound is like this, or the sound of a bird. So all this can happen when you can think, reimagine whatever you have in your hand as a tool. So this is my first instrument. I During the 90s, I added a simple different neck. It came in my mind that all Indian instruments, sitar, sarod, tanpura, sarangi, they have hollow neck. So that from the body, from here till the nut, the whole thing is hollow. So this was my first attempt to make the Chhaturangi with a hollow neck to get the bigger bass. This way, I have designed this instrument. It is my first creation, and you see the curves are inspired by the older time temples and caves carving. So these are, you can see the Saraswati on the peg head and beautiful carving. These are all inspired by Indian carving from the olden days. So this is my Chhaturangi. Now I am showing you the next instrument, Gandharvi. A very old idea about how to improve the sound of a slide instrument to follow the gayaki or the singing. Because when you have a long breath and your guru is singing a long note or long phrase with one breath, the guitar sound drops after the strike immediately. So to continue that, I had to plug several times to hold the same note to accompany or to learn from my guru. So it was in my early days, it was in my head that how I can bring a longer sustaining on a slide form. So it clicked after maybe 15 or 20 years of that thought. It clicked in my head that if I have a pair of strings of the same gauge and same pitch and the same length, let me try to glide on the bar with the bar and see what happens. I show you. So this long, no acoustic instrument in the world can hold with one strike the sustenance with the left hand. So that magic has happened when I created this instrument with three spare strings with unison strings and three octave strings give the sound of the Rudravina. It has the sound of Sarangi. It has sound of Saraswati Veena, Rudra Veena, and it has the sound of the voice as well. So that is Gandharvi, the 12 strings. And see this design of the neck. This has been inspired from the old days horse-drawn chariots of Mahabharata and Ramayana time. So this is a very special instrument and it's very special for playing longer spiritual alap and very loud it is actually. It's holding the energy of at least three slide guitars in one. So this is the second. This was made in 1998. I made only two because playing this is very difficult because in each strike you have to play, you have to pluck two strings together and they are very tight, very hard to play. It needs a lot of energy to practice on this instrument. So this is Gandharvi, the sound of the cosmos. All these names I have given not to attach my signature because I wanted to give them what they deserve. Chhaturangi means four angs. Chaturang in guitar. Chaturang means voice, tar, voice, and Saraswati Veena, and sitar, and slide guitar. So this is Gandharvi. Now the next. Regular journey to Hawaii to perform with the Hawaiian legends, collaborating with them. my mind caught up with the beautiful soul of ukulele and mandolin. So Hawaii is famous for the papaya, ananas, and ukulele. So their printed shirts, you can have pineapple, ukulele, and hula dancers on top of the shirts. So this instrument was conceived from the ukulele sound, high pitch sound, and like ukulele, it has four strings in a small viola violin type of size, and this is made with a very rare koa wood. I didn't mention about the other instruments about the wood. So this is made of Hawaiian koa wood, and I especially needed this to have my high pitched, high energy compositions to be played on a smaller travel instrument. And then I have adapted the flamenco style of playing in a slide guitar form, which is also unique. So that is world music, but how you adapt this in Indian form. That's Anandi. It is not a Hawaiian guitar. It doesn't have a shape of a guitar. This is the first slide instrument with a hide on top. So usually hide on top are not slide instruments. They are like rawab, they are sarod, they have sarangi, dilruba, they have African banjo. They are all fretted instrument to be played with a fingertip on the fret. And this is the first gliding instrument called pushpavina. Basically, this is my journey with my innovations, new creations, and learning experience. I'm learning at the age of 62 today. And I'm really hopeful that I will create and reimagine many more things in life where music is concerned. Thank you for giving me this beautiful opportunity to be in the IEM TEDx.